G'day and welcome to the MacPack podcast.
We're back.
My name's Jamie Kinner, and to my left this week in order of the MacPack member, who's currently repping two phones, it's my little brother Joe. How are you, boy? Yeah.
Jake, I'm doing fantastic. I feel like a freaking drug dealer with two phones.
And to my right, coming in 6'1", as he does each and every week, it's the baby brother of the pack, who we call Junior Boy. Junior Boy, how are you?
I'm not doing any illegal business on the side. I only need the Dolo phone.
That's good to hear. Boys, this week on the MacPack podcast, we're chatting about your two phones.
Hell yeah.
We're chatting about the fact that Splendour in the grass has become Splendour in the mud.
It has.
We're also discussing a poll where we ask people, show us where you piss from. Do you piss from the grate or do you piss from the tiles?
Asking the big question.
Some real groundbreaking research being done.
Junior Boy takes us back over east with a little Melbourne story.
We've got plenty more to come.
And apparently Joe even brought an everyday hero to the table this week.
Another great one.
It's a massive turn up for the book, so make sure that you tune in. Let's get into it. Boys.
Brother Mingos.
How are we all? Well,
Fan-freaking-tastic.
two phones.
Two phones. Yes, my little experiment has been finally.
Is it because you're now at 1,000 you feel like the burden of having 1,000 followers
It's too much to bear.
on the business phone? You got to use it. It's got to have its own personal phone.
Define the purpose of both A phone and
Show
B
us your
phone.
phones.
So I have this phone here. I got the 13 Pro.
Must be very nice.
All right, cool.
Which, big fan of the phone. It's a good phone.
Sponsored.
And then
The brand new Apple iPhone.
the brand new, yeah. And then my old phone, which is the 10R. That's my backup phone.
That's the red one.
That's the red one, yeah. I got the...
Why do you always go a color scope?
Well, the red ones,
Is it to make up for your lack of personality? Is that?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Well, also because, you're not going to case. You get a nice little color.
Yeah,
and
you
I
don't
feel
rep the
like-
case. You rep a case.
Clear case.
I've never used a case on an iPhone before.
Yeah, I used to have on my when I had a 4, I used to have one of those silicon, really
Oh, the rubbery ones.
jelly type
Yep.
ones.
My case is my
That's
wallet.
what you've got, isn't it?
My case holds my phone in.
Your.
I mean, my-
Your
driver's
ID. Yeah, a lot of
license.
people do that.
Yeah, so when I go to the clubs, I don't need to mess around.
I used to
with
have a
the wallet.
case on my phone. This is riveting stuff off the top.
Yep.
Used to have a case on my iPhone 6. It was one of those fancy wallet fucking
That's
cases.
fucking embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially when I was it would have been year 12. So 17-year-old, and I've got this floppy one.
Jesus.
And it got real thick because I put all my cards in there thinking I was some big baller, and to put cash in the side.
Oh, I remember that.
I ended up just carrying this massive wad around. But the reason you have a case on your phone is so that if you drop it, it doesn't break.
Yeah, it breaks the fall.
I remember walking into basketball and I walked in holding my phone and I've dropped it. And it's immediately just popped open and has landed flat. Just on the face anyway. And it was at that point, after I was picking glass up off the basketball court, I decided I was never using a phone case again because,
It's a waste.
yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. I'm carrying around this block of cards.
For no reason.
I also do think that...
And I've never dropped my phone since. I've never shattered my phone since.
I feel like they must be stronger now because I feel like the smashed iPhone used to be a real
Yeah.
staple. Just about everyone had a smashed
Yeah, that's
iPhone.
true.
But now you rarely see it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of hairline fractures, but I can toss my phone around. It's basically it's basically a basketball at this point.
Mine's much the same. I also used to run that, you can get that glass protector case thing over the top.
Screen protector. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that for a while.
I have that, yeah.
I've since stopped.
I have that.
I'm not sure why.
I think on my red phone, my backup, it's got the glass back and it does have a crack that goes through
Ah,
that.
cool.
Yeah, mine's
So
all good.
why do you have the second one, Joe?
So the main reason was I
Tinder.
realized that
Grinder.
Grinder.
No, I realized I was spending too much time, just mindless scrolling through TikTok, through Instagram, through the feeds, and I was like, I'm just spending so much time doing this. I'll get home from work, and then I'm just scrolling and stuff. I'm like, I could be doing something, a bit more productive than just, scrolling through.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to take that away. So I used to occasionally, I'd be notice I've been on TikTok a lot this week. I'm just gonna delete it and not go on it for a while.
The whole app.
The whole app, yeah. But then it's with what we do, sometimes I need to be able to check it still because of the hate comments and stuff.
I need to fuel myself.
If there's stuff like that, or even when we do polls and stuff for Instagram, you got to be able to check it for that.
Yeah.
So I would be trying to
Such a minimal thing. Have you ever shared a TikTok?
no, I like to have a look at them, see see what they're doing. You see how they're going.
See how they go.
But like, then I would have to download the app, and then I would
start the
sort of-
process again.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
now I have it like separated. So I've got my home phone, which is like,
Business.
yeah, it's got all my socials and stuff on. So maybe at the end of the day, I come back, have a look on the gram. See what
So it
people are
doesn't come
posting.
with you.
No, I'll leave it at home. Yeah. So
What about like when you're
Like
on
an analog phone.
Yeah. What if you're on like a bus or an Uber? What are you going on? Fucking.
well, I listen to podcasts or
Yeah,
you
what-
know.
Yeah, what do you do?
Well, that's so basically when I started doing this, I was still sort of in the habit of I'm gonna look at something on scroll. So I used to like LinkedIn. I go on LinkedIn a lot.
Actually.
Scroll through my emails a lot.
Yeah. You know what? I actually go when I'm finished all my notifications on all my fun apps. I go on Facebook Workplace.
Bullshit.
I actually do.
'Cause
Because
it's
I'm like dying for dopamine.
Yeah, your brain is just like, oh, I gotta like scroll at something. So actually, I got really hooked on. Do you guys know what Quora is? So it's kind of like Yahoo Answers.
Yeah.
And
It's like people post questions.
yeah, and I'm not exactly sure like when I like they got my email right, and they sent me so many emails, and it's always like I know you guys like make fun of me for being a nerd or whatever, but it's always like comic related stuff.
Oh,
So
cool.
like, someone will post a question, be like, could the strongest version of Thor beat this version of Superman? And then like people just like argue in the comments, and so I would just like read that, and it's like, but now I've sort of like, I used to like go on Reddit a lot, but now I've like taken that off. So I'm slowly weaning down because like now because I'm like on LinkedIn, and I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't give a shit about. I don't give a shit about LinkedIn.
You did send me a LinkedIn screenshot today.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
And
that
I was
when
like,
that
I
was when
thought it was on Facebook, and then I saw that it was LinkedIn. I was like, fuck, man. It's Monday morning at like 10 a.m. and Joe's already gone to LinkedIn.
scraping the bottom of the barrel. But my hours are down.
I bet they are,
Yeah,
because
a lot,
fucking
yeah, 'cause
LinkedIn
it's-
ain't all that
You can't
interactive.
use them.
Yeah. So now it's like
But
it is good, and I'm finding that like, I mean, I don't think about like, I'm not like, oh, I wonder what's going on TikTok, like what's going on the gram, like I don't really care. But like, it is nice to, obviously I like.
Busy worrying
You're
about the comic
disconnected,
books
yeah.
from the 1980s.
What
Yeah,
about
but I-
Facebook? Do you have Facebook on your phone?
No,
You
I
haven't had
actually missed a dinner event that one of my friends had, like going away.
See,
thing,
that's what
so
I
didn't
mean.
see
Like
the-
you miss.
Did you actually?
You miss important things.
Yeah, I did see it, but it was a bit late notice.
And
When
like,
did you see it?
how late?
I saw it on like
7 days.
I saw it on like the Wednesday, and then I didn't realize it was going to be on the Thursday, and I had to like edit and stuff.
Oh, true.
The podcast comes first.
Wait, I was gonna say, you know, that does it does impact like important things, because like I remember Olivia told me, she was like, I messaged Joe offering him condolences after Buddy passed away,
She didn't message me.
and she I don't know, but
Maybe because I put something on my story.
yeah, maybe it was like a reply to the story or something. But then she said
Bad books, Olive.
but then she said you never replied, and I was
Oh.
like, wait, that's pretty dope. But
I
I was
would've
like, wait a
replied.
minute, it's probably on his burner.
Maybe she did
Yeah.
actually. So,
was
now
just
that
in
I've
morning.
said that, I'll take that back immediately. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
She didn't say you still haven't replied. Just left her on red.
No, I don't think so.
Is that Mum? Mum's at the door. Hang on.
Mummy.
Mummy. We got some business transactions taking place. Got 5 minutes to get $2,000 out from the bank.
Can we go to the ATM?
That's exactly where you got to
Why
go.
can't we ATM's 24 hours.
But it has to be a bank waste.
Fucking bitch.
There's a time delay on
They're
it.
open anyway, aren't they?
This is
But
unprecedented.
is
stuff
it
on the
Eastern
map. Holy
Standard
shit.
Time? Is that when the midnight is?
Oh.
This is a great question for the people at home. Riley's buying a car tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Basically, we weren't going to talk about it because it's
But we need to get cash out.
because it's not a sponsored gig, unfortunately. But yeah, we might have to pause here. Go get some cash out.
We'll see if I get the cash out. Mum said I have 5 minutes to go get extra grands out, so we'll go tuss it.
Here we go. It's exciting times.
Alright, I'll be back.
To be
I
continued.
might be back. Here we go. Let's
How'd you go?
we got some cash out.
Nice. So what are you buying? You're buying a new vehicle.
A new vehicle.
What are you getting?
That's top secret, mate.
Oh.
You'll announce it. Well, are you gonna do a hard launch on the gram?
I don't know. Yeah, you might see some decals on it.
Oh, MacPack decals.
Oh, maybe in the future.
We're pretty good at saying we'll do shit and then not doing it. So you're in the right wheelhouse just to lob some random shit up if you can.
We'll have to see what's going on.
Very, very.
But what I do
exciting
know
stuff.
is that this kind of car would be really good in mud.
Here we go.
In mud.
Unlike the patrons down at Splendour. in the Mud.
Yes.
As smooth as butter.
Splendour in the Mud, probably the biggest Australian music festival in Australia.
Yeah, biggest
like-
Australian music festival that happens in Australia, and is a music festival as well.
Yes,
I
that's
guess.
what
and
you
it's,
want.
it's like, I feel like the reason why it's so like, oh, it's like prestigious or whatever is like, it's only in the Byron Bay, like the one place. It's not like a Falls or a Lima where it travels around the country. If you want to go to Splendour,
You got to travel to
you
it.
got to go
To the grass.
to the grass.
The grass, baby.
Have you ever been, Joe?
No, I have never been. So there was one time where me and my mates, we were keen. It was like we were like second year out of high school, I think. We're like, oh, we're gonna go to Splendour. It's gonna be sick.
Yep.
And then we got because we wanted to get our tickets and accommodation early.
Yep.
Because if you buy it like closer to it, it's super expensive.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we bought our tickets and our accommodation. We're like, yes,
We're going to
Splendour. It's gonna be so good. Then like the
That's so
lineup were
exciting.
announced. We're like, yes, lineup sick.
Who was
Who
in
was
the
going?
lineup?
So excited. So it was like me, Adam, Bryce.
The Splendor.
I don't give a
lineup.
fuck.
Oh,
about
the
your
Splendour
mates,
lineup.
Just name dropping who's who.
The Splendour lineup.
At what point did
How
you
was
think
Bryce?
Just even like who was the gang?
Adam and Bryce, are they a rap duo? Yeah, like
my dear friend. I actually don't, for the life of me, I can't really remember who's playing.
Mustn't have been that good.
And they get cancelled.
No, so we got our flights accommodation. We were ready to go. Well, and then the tickets come on sale.
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't cop.
As a result of the bad
Lineup?
lineup.
No. So we were trying, but it was just we couldn't get them. You know, in the waiting room, waiting to get the tickets.
Bullshit. How many of you? There's 6 of you.
How many? Yeah, it was like 5.
And you all tried and none of you got it.
Yep, it's because what they do is they have, so if you've already been,
Yeah.
you get like priority access.
Oh.
If you live in like Byron Bay, you get priority access. If you basically I think it's like if you're not in the area and you haven't been before, it's kind of like, yeah, good luck. And we didn't cop.
What do you mean you have to be in the area? Like your IP address has to be.
Yeah, there's definitely it's like a
DNS?
preference for
You
people.
just lob them in. You're at the grass.
Yeah, so we didn't end up going. We had a lovely trip to the Gold Coast instead, but then
That's huge. That's equivalent to me
That's shocking.
doing what I've done and then not getting grand final tickets and then watching the game from like the bar,
The TV, yeah. In the
the
hotel
room, the hotel room.
yeah, it wasn't ideal, but it was still a fun trip. We went to Movie World, very nice, good rides. But
Gold
then
Coast. Gold Coast seems cool.
Gold Coast was very cool.
What
yeah.
time of year was it? This time of year?
Yeah, this
Winter.
time. Yeah, winter.
Surely people were selling Splendor tickets.
Shit, oh. Resale value would have been.
Yeah, resells a lot, and then also like you
But
need.
so are the flights and accommodation to go over.
Yeah, but that was a
Once
sunk
you're in,
cost.
you're
That was
in,
a sunk
yeah.
cost. You're not getting that back. Not getting that from the airlines.
But surely you're in at that point. You're just like, fuck it, we'll pay however much we need to pay.
Nah, we had a lovely trip there.
I fucked the. Remember
but
the
then-
remember the airlines about we talked about last week about
Yeah.
my baggage. My
Yes.
baggage. A little update on the
Oh
baggage.
yeah, baggage update.
Ball baggage.
Yeah. So the boys, right? One of the boys, Cheesy, is a big Apple guy. He has a Apple tracking
The
device on his
AirTag.
bag. So he knew where its whereabouts was, and then one morning he woke up and it was like, it's in Perth, Australia. So
That's
him
actually
and,
real
him
smart.
and friend of the show, Cade Gitsaroni, were like, let's just go to the airport and try and find our bag because they were screening all their calls and just like not replying to
Yeah.
any emails. Classic Jetstar. And then the boys rock up and then they say the whole of our flight, JQ171,
Sure.
bags just like in the baggage area, but like not on the conveyor belt anymore, just tucked away in the corner. So
Someone had taken them off.
Anyone could come in and just grab them.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's
That's
so-
And
really
luckily
really
my
good
mates were there
ideas.
and they grabbed all our bags and just delivered them themselves. But yeah, shocker.
Pretty
Shocker from
shocking.
Jetstar.
That's really
and then it made the
professional.
news.
Yeah, it was on the news. I saw.
Were you on the
Speaking of-
news?
We weren't, but the whole baggage claim issues with Jetstar were.
Yes,
Fuck that.
but then me and my good friend Pat we tried our hand again. We tried to snag some Splendy tickets.
Oh, we're back.
Last
Okay.
year they announced the 3 headliners. It was the Strokes, the Gorillas, and
And-
Tyler the Creator. Which like this is like a full festival, so they would each be one on each of the nights.
Yep, classic.
So it's it's only 3 acts. The rest could be terrible. We're like, no, we love those 3. We're gonna commit.
massive.
So we bought our Splendid tickets and we were ready to go. And then the COVID pandemic. The COVID. So this was after they had already not had it for a year, and then they had this one, and then they pushed it back a couple months. They pushed it back again. They pushed it back again, and then me and Pat were like, we're just gonna get a refund because
Yep.
at some point we need to buy flights and stuff.
Yeah. It's too unpredictable.
So it's too unpredictable. So we would have been there. We would have been there
In
this
the mud.
weekend.
Oh,
But that was the one that
So
we
they
bought
just-
tickets to.
okay.
Have you seen
Um,
on the? I was watching a video of Tyler the Creator, and on the screen above Tyler, it literally says "Splendour in the Mud."
Does it?
Yeah, they've changed.
Yeah, I did
it.
see that. I
They've
think-
changed it. They've just
So
run with
so
it.
if you don't know, so basically Friday was cancelled because of the weather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it was like, because I saw a girl I know is there, and she like posted on her story something about like buying like Ugg boot, like massive, like Wellington boots.
yeah.
Gum boots.
And I was like, oh yeah, oh, that's funny. And then I realized like, oh, it'd been cancelled. And then I saw the videos of people like walking around in like legit like
Foot deep.
foot deep mud. And then
So disgusting.
what happened was on the Saturday night, so because some people camp there, which is why like the mud is also like a pain. But most people it's like in some
Shuttle bus.
yeah, shuttle buses because it's in like, I don't know, some like
Bush.
far away place. So they're waiting for the buses, and the buses, I think everyone was like meant to be out of there by like 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Mhm.
Some people didn't get home until 6 a.m. because some of the buses
I
didn't
heard.
show up.
Yeah, the bus dudes in charge of the bus was like, fuck that, I'm not going there.
Fuck that.
I might get bogged in the mud.
So then on
Yeah, legit.
Sunday, I saw like on Facebook, like so many people, just like, so they had made an announcement saying like, oh, there was like an issue with one of the bus companies or whatever,
yeah.
and people were just like ripping them to shreds.
The Splendour
in,
guys.
in the comments, and I think that's
Sort
also
of
like,
out of their power though.
yeah, but I think also they didn't communicate with the people at the time that
Yeah,
like
okay.
things weren't going well, and obviously like I feel like most people already their Friday was cancelled.
I reckon just look around. Like, what's the
Just
point?
take it in.
Yeah, what's the point of saying, hey, sorry guys, things aren't going as planned? I reckon you might be aware of that considering like you can't see your feet anymore.
Yeah.
No, but
You've
this
been
is-
standing in the fucking cold for 6 hours waiting for a bus that
Yeah.
definitely ain't fucking coming. Read the room, guys.
Yeah.
No one's enjoying themselves, least of all the people in charge of the fucking
Oh yeah,
event.
exactly. That's like they're definitely like having the worst time out of everyone probably.
Oh, fucking oath.
But also it is one of those things where like you went and obviously it was like not as you expected, but then like in like 20 years or whatever,
That's a memory.
you'll be like, oh, I was at that. I was at the
I was in
Yeah.
the
I
mud.
was at the Splendour in
classic.
the Mud, the classic one. Oh, our bus didn't, and people will be like, oh, our bus didn't get there until 9 a.m. the next day. You know, like the classic.
And
like,
it is a little bit funny how it's like the name is literally Splendour in the Grass. Like you couldn't have changed any other variable about the title of the name to make it like. Funny
Yeah, it's a bit ironic.
Yeah.
It's a bit
Yeah.
ironic. I think if you've signed up for these sorts of things, you have to expect the unexpected as
especially
well.
if it's in winter.
Yeah, you've bought a ticket. You've realistically, if you strip everything out, you strip all the music out, you've bought a ticket to go hang out at a fucking paddock.
Yeah.
What happens at the paddock
Stays at the paddock.
is so out of everyone's control. Like, we're just hoping that the artists rock up, the music works, like it doesn't piss down with rain.
Yeah.
That's all part of the risk. If I book a game of footy that I'm going to go to,
And it rains.
yeah,
Part
it's
of it.
probably a bit different. As
Could you
I
imagine
said,
that buses didn't come to Optus?
yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, it's hard because that's like the big festival. There was like their big comeback after COVID, and then like
This happens.
You know, it
Good
didn't go
advertising
great.
for the event though.
yeah,
Bad
so they're gonna
advertising, bad exposure.
come back hard next year, hopefully.
Fuck yeah.
Will you go?
Are
we headlining? I think we're headlining.
It could be headlining.
Yeah, because it's Bryce.
Adam will
Joe,
be there.
Yeah.
And the backpack.
Yeah, because we've got a show in the Gold Coast, and then we'll be coming straight through. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You're going to tie on tomorrow night.
Tie on.
Tyler the
Creator?
Creator.
Ty. Did you just call him Ty?
Yeah, man, we're tight.
Me and Ty. I'm going to freaking Tyler the Creator.
So he'll
Tomorrow night.
be
But this time,
thawing out by that point.
oh yeah, he was at Splendour.
Oh yeah,
but
this is funny. Yeah.
I've actually got tickets for the mosh this time
That rack again.
at Rack.
And
And
then-
what did Tyler say while he was performing
Oh, yeah.
at Splendour?
I
So
saw-
Splendour, so it's in Byron Bay, which isn't like a.
Capital.
It's not like Melbourne. It's not a Sydney. It's not a Perth.
Okay.
Yeah, like everyone listening, like think about where Byron Bay is. You don't fucking know, all right? And then so Tyler was up on stage, and this was when I saw the big Splendour in the Mud thing. Tyler was on stage, and he was like, "Look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have no idea where the fuck I am."
Yeah.
right now." And that's just a big. I reckon that is exactly what everyone was thinking down at fucking Byron Bay.
There's heaps of pigs rolling around in the mud up the
Yeah.
back there.
Fucking earth.
I wonder if he'll know where he is tomorrow. Rack
Maybe.
attack, baby.
He'll love the fucking enclosed spaces. the dryness.
Yeah,
of
he was
RAC.
also here for New Year's Eve once. He played at Origin, the New Year's Eve festival.
There you go.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Big festy chat here on the
Yes.
MacPack podcast.
Are we going to drop where we'll be on Saturday night?
We're going to be at RAC as well.
Oh, we're going to RAC twice.
Gang of youths.
Gang of youths.
So
yes.
come one, come all. We'll be in the mosh.
We'll be in the mosh. We'll be living it up.
Jake's gonna start
Here we go.
a circle in the mosh, and then he's gonna try crowd surf.
Really?
That's what I hear. Yeah,
there's been a lot of
Jake's getting on my shoulders. Huge
lots to look forward to.
Lots to look forward to. Are you going to be allowed back at RAC? You shared a TikTok explaining how you snuck into the mosh,
Yep.
and they saw it, commented, and
They
Probably-
commented. They commented notepad emoji as if they were like taking this down as
Yeah.
information. So I'll see how I go walking through the gates tomorrow night.
This week we asked people of Australia, where do you piss from? Now, this story came about because I've seen a couple of things. When you walk into the urinal, we talked about toilets last week.
Yeah, but you know, they're a big topic. You see them every day.
When you walk into the urinal, you're either faced with the funny little, what would you even call them? They're like a little
Yeah, like
a
a
half bowl.
oval shaped thing.
like a reverse water fountain.
Or you get the pig trough.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you guys prefer?
I definitely prefer the solo. Like this is
Pig trough has a vibe,
Pig trough does have
And
a vibe.
also a
it's very
scent.
high school.
and it has a scent. Yeah.
there's a
very high
scent
school.
which I'm not the biggest fan of.
Yeah.
I prefer like a bush.
But
I
I
love
like-
pissing outside. I'll piss out in the bush more than I'll piss anywhere.
It's definitely freeing. There's a few times where I get home late at night, like from a gym session at 1 a.m. and I'll pee facing the road.
Yeah, Jake,
Oh, yeah,
Jake does that a
always.
lot.
Just
Always.
cock out, wave to the neighbours.
The car,
G'day, mate, how you going?
the cars
got
that
it.
come
Yay!
past. I get out of the car and then I just immediately, because we've talked about this very early on the podcast, like the
Yeah.
first 5 episodes. When you get home from anywhere, the first thing that you feel like doing is pissing. And like you might have not thought you needed to piss for 40 minutes, but the moment you get home,
Floodgates, right?
yeah, you're like, whoa, I need to piss now. And there's like a race and a rush to the toilet. So frequently, especially when I was living here, get out of my car and just flesh one out onto the grass. Literally.
Jesus.
At like 2 a.m., at 5 p.m. I've done it like in broad daylight. Just get home from golf. I've done it. Get home from golf
Well,
after
at
you've
your
had a
own-
couple
at
of
your own house.
sodas after you get home from. No, not at my own
Okay.
house. Fuck, I'm not a pig. And yeah,
The
it
neighbours.
can be like 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Just get home from a big day of golf. Just get the old fleshy out. Get the old flesh pencil.
Get the old
out.
3-wood out.
Has anyone ever called it a flesh pencil? And then you just
check that on Urban Dictionary. Links.
and then you just doing a little bit of gardening. When you're talking about the pig trough, which is the long water feature like thing for the
Big silver panel.
for the females at home, I reckon you could imagine. Would a girl have ever seen?
The pig
I feel like in TV shows and stuff.
What TV shows are you watching?
Yeah, like like a high school. They go into the bathroom, have a chat.
At what point does the pig trough come into it? All the lads there just
Come
with
on,
their
boys, let's go to our place.
with their flesh
The trough.
the flesh pencils out, and then you've just got like this weird. Is it a wide angle? Is it a tight angle?
Mm.
You don't really want to be down that low and facing the trough.
Mm-hmm. What do we prefer? Oh, you already said what we prefer. Yeah.
Anyway,
what
the
does the people say?
The actual discussion is there's a grate. There's little bits of metal. It's like a metal track
Yeah. In between the step.
in between the
back wall.
tiles and where the actual water feature hits the wall.
Yeah.
Now,
But there
a
is like
viewing
there's a
deck.
tiny gap in
there is a tiny gap.
which is like where the piss is meant to like land per se.
I think the piece is meant to hit the
Meant to
wall.
hit the wall. Yeah.
And then it runs down
Yeah,
into
like a
this
water
little L
feature.
shape.
That's what makes the water feature.
and then the grate starts after like a little bit of run on the bottom.
Yeah, you can imagine where the grate is. It's basically touching the tiles. The question is, do you stand on the actual grate and urinate on the wall, or do you stand on the tiles and try and piss over the grate into the wall?
Yeah, it's a tricky question.
Which adds probably 20 centimeters? Or for me, one flesh pencil length. That's how I measure
Yeah,
it.
see the issue with me is if I stand too close on the gate, I've got cock touching back wall.
My issue, and half the reason why, if I don't currently stand on the
On the grate.
on the grate. But if I was going to, I'd be quite nervous because once it comes out, it might fall in the grate. And then I get tangled in the grate.
Yeah, you don't want to get. It's like braces.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, anything
And
so-
you get your
Or it's a
tongue
bit like
stuck
when
in
you
the
drop
brace.
your yo-yo and your yo-yo goes down and gets tangled. Has
Pretty
anyone
well.
ever
Or like, you know, when
like
like
drop their yo-yo in the urinal?
you
Or
know,
just,
when like
just
a
me?
kid or like stick their head through like a fence and get stuck.
Yeah. That's
Could
the-
happen. Could happen.
That's the head of a fleshy pencil.
So what do you boys do? You tiles or you grates?
Well, to be honest, I
Here we
feel like I
go.
don't see the grate as much.
You don't see it.
Yeah, I feel like it's usually just a normal, like it just opens up.
I see grates at nightclubs a lot.
Yeah.
Some people don't see colour. Joe doesn't see grates. It's good.
Yeah.
That's
good.
work, Joe.
Now you gotta go.
So woke if you joke.
Now you gotta go on the tile.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit of a hedge my bets, and I'll place like a little bit of my foot on the grate,
Because
but not all the way.
The thing is, if it's hitting
Because I don't
the
know.
grate,
I don't want to be like.
You
I
know,
don't,
the-
I'm literally sitting on the fence,
What I think
it's-
of. Oh, yeah, you go.
if it's
standing
hitting,
on the
if
fence.
it's hitting the grate like top down.
hitting the grate. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, because you get like a bit of splashback, you know. You don't want to.
Splash on the shoes. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're pissing on the wall, and then you come out wetter as a
No,
result.
if it's like if you're like
If
You're
you're
getting
aiming
smothered.
at,
if it's like like on the on the outro of the pay, it's like sort of coming down.
Okay, yep.
The stream is less intense, and then it could be getting the grate, and then you don't want it splashing back up. I
Oh,
prefer it to be hitting.
see the
nothing
thing.
at
The
that
thing
point.
with the.
so where do you stand?
on the tile.
Okay.
The thing with the on standing on the tiles, because I switch it up. Depends on the sneakers I'm wearing as well. If I'm wearing nice sneakers, I'm going tiles. If I'm just wearing my dirty clubbing shoes, you never know where I'm going to end up. But the thing I think about standing on the tiles as well, we've got a right in from Matt Bell, and there's nothing I could think that's better. It feels like you're taking a 3-point shot.
Oh, when you way back.
Yeah, it's a bit deep.
You feel like you're downtown. You feel like you're fading away.
I take
And
a step
also-
back from the tiles. Personally. Let it rip.
But then also with the tile thing, if you're standing too far back on the tile, like you know how at the end of the stream it starts to drizzle. The angle turns from like a parabola to more of just a drop, and that's when it starts landing on
the tiles.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not good.
So you reckon maybe we move in a
I
bit?
feel like the
you
tiles-
start off on the tiles and then
Almost
by the
like almost
feel
like
like
walking in with the bowler.
end, for the cricket fans out there.
I feel like the tiles are never meant to be wet.
Yeah,
No,
well, that's the point of
no.
the grate.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Oh.
why the grades that's why the L is so deep. So
See-
the drippage at the end
Yeah.
can be.
Speaking of going to the urinal, I find this is like a
Can I just ask quickly before you tell your story? Last week you mentioned the bloke who slipped and fell into.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Was
No.
there a grate on that urinal or not?
No
Is he
grate.
still stuck there, tangled in the grate?
No great. I think that's why he was so compromised. If the grate was there, he would have had a bit of
He
leverage.
would have been
yeah, he could have
fine.
pushed off.
Yeah.
He's imagine
He's
getting
straight in.
Imagine if he broke his arm in the grate. he goes
His arm got stuck,
He's stuck
and
in
some
the
other
grate.
guy came up and started pissing on his hand.
Sorry, I'm
It's
just gonna
or if
stand there.
he's like- if he's like downstream, like to the drain, it's all just coming.
Splashing up.
What
Someone,
would happen if he got hooked in the grate?
someone presses the flush while he's down.
If he got hooked in the back, someone kick him in the back.
Seki.
Yeah, probably.
What would happen if he got stuck in the grate? Would you think
Do you think people, especially if you're in a nightclub, do you think people would like
stop?
stop?
Or would it just be like,
Well, you're down there,
I'd
love.
stand up. Nah,
what would you do?
I would do exactly what I did last week. Make a swift exit. No way, sure.
See, my question was gonna be, when, when you're at the urinal, this is like a thing that I find
Just
typically
urinal.
like older blokes will do. But are you a
Here we go.
leaner?
On the
No.
Not on the metal, but on the wall.
on the
No,
wall.
not a leaner.
We mentioned this when we had Craig's on.
It's
We
tripod,
had
yeah.
a tripod king.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of our teachers used to be a tripoder. He used to come into, and this is at a high school where we didn't have. This was one of the like high school. This is like year 12 toilets
yeah.
where we had the individual cubicle little
Yeah.
the oval arches.
Yeah. God, it has a little wall in between.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
they
they
should
were
all
good.
have that.
I don't think this one did.
No, the main block one.
Maybe I did, yeah.
Oh.
It was my go-to.
And one of the teachers come in. The teacher was very. If you googled unfit, this man would arrive.
Yeah.
This is exactly the sort of individual you would see.
Yeah.
Lovely man from all reports.
Saving himself for marriage by all reports as well. Good on him.
Some things you get to decide. That I don't think you get to decide. I think that was left up to the other parties.
Yeah, he was an RE teacher.
Yeah.
Go on.
But did the Lord choose him, or did he depole choose the Lord?
Or had this challenge been thrust upon him by the Lord?
Another challenge he seemed to have was his balance when he was urinating, because he used to just plonk both of his feet down and then lean over it
Yeah.
and sort of tilt himself
I reckon,
like a tractor and just teeter over and then put his arm out so that he could
people
lean.
who do that have length issues. They
Oh.
need the extra lean to make sure
Get
they're
in there.
getting in the bowl.
Right.
I never had a look at him, but I reckon he's struggling.
So when using the grate, he's probably leaning off the cliff of the grate. Do you reckon? Oh man.
Yeah, maybe.
What were you going to go with? Were you going to say something else then?
No, I don't think so.
Cool.
What do
we-
the people say?
There were some rippers in this. I had a little gaze. There was one that I thought was fucking absolutely pissing funny. What was his name? He talked about the grate. Hang on.
We got a
And-
lot of no splashback.
We did.
Fair enough, though.
All right. Well, let's kick things off with the actual ratio. We had 25% of people say they piss from the grate or would piss in the sense of a female, while 75% of people reckon the tiles. Of the groups I've seen, I don't think there was any women. There may have been one woman. There was one woman who said that she would piss on the grate. All the rest, every other woman that voted would piss from the tiles.
Interesting.
So that's an insight in and of itself. I think that
Well, you
comes
think-
down to, I think part of it is something that I've noticed is unless we're all doing the same thing, there's going to be piss on the grate. Because if half of us are pissing from the grate and half of us are pissing from the tiles, half of us standing on the piss and the rest of us are just pissing on the piss. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we need to sort this out. We do need to sort this out. One of the girls goes, if you're standing on the grate, wouldn't you be standing on everyone's piss? Which is, yeah.
Depends.
Well, you're standing in 75% of people's piss at this
Yeah.
point. There was a really funny one. Hang on. This is good.
Just gotta find it. See, the reason Joe isn't reading anything out is because it's on his burner phone.
It's on the burner,
and
yes.
his burner is in another room. I've just got something here, boys, about why the hinge gate urinal exists.
One bloke, just quickly. Let's just
the
get
name?
through this. Can you really stream? Can your stream really reach the wall if you're standing on the tiles?
Yeah, the stream only has to be a couple centimeters.
Yeah.
You don't have to be putting out like a proper pumper.
Depends.
A
Proper bumper.
Where is this one?
Did they delete it? Did they get self-conscious?
I don't know if you can delete it.
Oh,
Here we go. It was
What's your
Thomas Strauss. Big fan of this one. If I stand on the grate, my pants will get wet since they're at my ankles. Which is one of the great visuals.
The classic.
Have you? When was the last time you saw an individual go to the pisser
Oh, you can go full.
and go full pants to the ankles?
It's been a while, but
'Cause
there's a few gentlemen I can picture.
It's a fucking move. If you listen right now and you want a challenge, this weekend when you go out, Riley, your mates listen. I would love to get a photo.
Oh, some of them.
Oh, of the whole crew.
Yeah, of 3 or 4 of them, all at the pisser,
Yeah.
all standing on the grate with their pants by their ankles, and just get someone in behind them to take a nice snap. Just boys in unison, boys in arms. That would be fucking
that-
Mintox.
The gentleman.
Jocks down as well.
Oh yeah, you got to go the full banger.
Cock out, mate.
That was a big thing. I feel like I haven't really seen it since primary school.
Yeah.
In primary school, yeah, like proper just like drop them all. And then occasionally like, like say that you're in primary school, like may not be that great with your aim and stuff. So like,
Oh no.
if your hands are compromised, I feel like some kids like, surely you've seen this like a kid doing like the waddle to wash their hands and dry.
And then they pull their hands up.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen that deep go.
Edmund Hillary, this is your challenge for the weekend.
There you go.
I've got you in mind. What was your answers there, Ross?
Well, apparently it helps with cleaning. I don't know how the urinal incorporates a floor grate that can be lifted easy for cleaning.
Yeah, that it wouldn't be any easier than just not having
being
it. Like someone's
Yeah.
gonna touch the grate.
Like being like, Oh yeah, this car is really easy to fix because you can lift up the bonnet. Like you just remove it.
You could just have that nut on there as well. Yeah, there are some rippers. There's a few funny ones. Someone just went very literal and just went prevent splashbacks when urinating so that you can have at least 30 centimeters from the drain. Which, hey, it's a good point. Some of us need more than 30 centimeters to be from that drain, though. I'll tell you that. Let it rip.
I've done a lot of Google searches, but there's no real reason of why the grate's there. One day we'll find it.
Yeah, one day.
I have a pretty massive cock, so standing on the tiles is good for me, and it's more hygienic.
We won't say who wrote that in, but
Good on you.
we all know that's a lie.
I'm a big fan of Olive's one. She just goes real plain and simple. Does the PP go into the gate? Yeah, that's sort of the discussion point. That's sort of the reason we're asking the question. So this weekend, you've got your answer. Stand on the tiles. But if you want to be a real hero, stand on the grate, pull your dacks all the way to your ankles, and just let it fly from deep.
Fucking oath.
All right, Riley, last week you promised us, similar to the piss, you'd just drip feed us with Melbourne stories over the next couple of weeks.
We've got plenty more.
We had a big rave review last week that turned into a incognito everyday hero.
Yep, a bit of an adaptive segment.
This week you promised that it's just the single segment.
Yep.
And it's about Crown Towers, Crown Metropole.
Crown the Metropole.
In
But Towers features.
in Melbourne.
So does the other one.
So how did it compare to the Perth Crown?
The interior design of the rooms, worse. But the pool and the gym, fuck it.
Facility's good? No.
Elite, yeah, very.
Because you
elite.
actually stayed at Crown.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Stayed at Crown at Metropole. And there was 13 of us lads. Obviously, the rooms hold 4 each. So
Yep.
we
Yes.
snuck 5 into our room, including myself, Big Ed, Cade, Kobe, and Covdog.
The boys?
Just drop all their names. So the booking.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Yes.
allegedly we snuck 5 in. And but the thing about the Metropole is that, like, I think it actually might be nicer. Oh, it probably isn't nicer than the Towers, but the facilities are nicer.
That's a strong start.
And I have something to prove this. Because obviously Manchester United are in town, and the team they were versing on Tuesday night, the day after we left, was another team from the EPL, Crystal Palace.
Who was that?
Crystal Palace. Are you guys familiar with Crystal
No.
Palace?
No. You're talking to two blokes.
Neither was I until I was in the elevator with one of the main players.
Oh, which one?
I
Was
don't
it Gary?
know.
It was Gary.
I don't know his name, but I just put on an accent and was like, "How's the football going?"
Is that what you said? How
No.
did you notice it was him?
Because he was wearing a Crystal Palace
wearing his
uniform.
cleats.
Do they have to wear it everywhere they go? People want to know.
Yeah, he was wearing his Crystal Palace uniform, and I was like,
Surely
Humble
not.
brag.
Were you wearing your MacPack stuff?
and no, they were walking around the whole thing. Like, they were walking to the food court. They were really flexing it.
Because they're probably like, okay, we're big dogs, but no one here watches soccer that
soccer,
much.
yeah.
So
yeah.
we got to tell them that we're, elite.
So I was in the elevator with him, and I noticed he was wearing. It was just me, none of the other boys, and there was like a full family who had just finished up at the pool. I had just come from the other lad's room, and there was like 2 other patrons, and then I was standing there in the corner with my camera that I was filming like the whole trip on. And
So
then-
we got footage of this guy?
No, I took a sneaky photo of him
Have you got that?
on Snap. Yeah, I'll put it on. Joey will put it on the screen.
Yep.
And then I was like just standing there, and then the family left, so I was like, "This is my open
You're
floor."
in.
So I said, "Big game tomorrow night, mate."
That's what you said to
Very
him.
nice.
Yeah, and he said, "Yeah, mate. Gonna be a good game, but unfortunately, I'm not playing." And I was like, "Oh, he's not playing." I actually don't know. No one knew his name. Well, I sent a photo to my mates. No one knew his name.
Would've
He was
been on the
also
back of his
holding
shirt.
probably 9 pairs of socks. So
18
he might have
songs.
just been the little bitch
He
boy.
could be a trainer. He might not even play.
Yeah, but he looked like a player. You know, like how they have that look, like the little stubbly beard, the fresh cut,
Mm.
the British accent.
I don't think he would have said I'm not playing.
But
if
if
he
he
was a
wasn't playing,
trainer.
because he was like, "Yeah, I'm not playing tomorrow night, though." That's what he said.
Yeah, right.
So I'm
And
like-
what did you return to serve with?
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then none
Did
of
you
that.
actually say that? Oh.
That's so funny.
I said, "Did you guys know Ronaldo always wasn't coming?" And
He's a different team.
yeah, I know, but the whole thing with selling tickets was the fact that Ronnie
No.
was coming.
So
he
you've
didn't
just
come.
dropped the headline on him.
What do you mean?
You know, you always known that Ronaldo wasn't coming.
No, that's
is that what
why-
you asked him?
Yeah, basically.
This is
I
a
said-
scoop.
I said, did you
This
guys?
is a scoop.
I said, did you guys know Ronnie always wasn't coming?
You call
Ronnie.
him Ronnie?
You called him Ronnie.
I said, yeah, you know Ronnie boy. We call him. And he was like, no mate, that's just new news to us. But I didn't think he was ever going to come, to be honest. I was like, yeah, fair enough.
There you go.
Yeah, we actually spoke.
We've got a quote from a man we don't know who said that he didn't think Ronaldo was coming.
Breaking fucking news. And then we found out there was rumours. Wait, no. And then we tried to go up to the pool one night before we went out.
Yep.
To have a quick dip and then, get ready for the night ahead.
You're in Melbourne, yeah?
Yeah.
Or Mykonos.
But it's like heated pooling.
Okay.
It's vibes. Anyway, and then we were like, all right, we'll try to go up to the pool. But then we heard that they were shut down for a few hours.
Shut down!
So we
Was he
called,
there as well?
so we and then so we called up the concierge and we're like, what's going on with the pools upstairs at the Metropole?
Shut down!
And they were like, or they weren't English. They were like, no, we're running an event up there. Like, you can't go, but you can go to the towers. And
Oh, surely you're just going up to the pools. Check out the event.
well, they wouldn't let us up. It's like it's all locked up. They shut the doors, and you need a key card to get through. Right. So we decided
I'm here with Ronnie.
to go to the towers. Me and the boys, right? But on the way to the towers, I was filming, obviously because I was making a documentary out of this trip, right? So I'm filming the whole thing. So I've got my camera going, and we walk up. We're making our way through, and we're like, "How do you get to the towers?" And they're like, "You've got to cut through the Cass. Otherwise, you have to go like out on the curb, walk around, and we're all in our bathers, ready to swim. So we don't really want to walk
the
out
floaties and stuff.
in the freezing cold weather. So we're like, all right, we'll try to cut through the Cass. And Eddie's flip flop broke. Big Ed's flip flop broke.
Plug
so
it
he was
down.
like barely. He wasn't even wearing shoes, and he was flopping through. And then we got to the Cass, and we were like, there's no way they're gonna let us in at the casino. Like we're looking like this.
Yeah.
We're all in board shorts. Like I don't even think I was wearing a tee, to be honest. And then we got to the thing, and he was like, "Go boys, IDs." Checked our IDs, and was like, "You're gonna have."
You bought your IDs, but not a shirt.
Yeah, he was like, "You're gonna have to turn that camera off." But yeah, head on through, boys. So we just walked through the Cass.
Did you turn the camera off?
Yeah, of course. And yeah, so
Allegedly.
and then we went to the Crown Towers pools. Great fun. Got told off, and then
Why did you get told off?
Cade was trying to do a backflip in gym pool, and then but then Chris and Cade left, but then me and Ed stayed in the gym. And then we were working out in the gym, and then we got kicked out of the gym because Eddie didn't have shoes.
Because he was trying to do a backflip.
Because Eddie didn't have shoes, so the guy was like, get out of the gym. And then we're like, all right, okay, daddy. So then we left, and we walked back to the towers, dripping cold, like dripping wet.
Through the casino.
Through the Cass again. I was like, this would never happen in Perth. You walk in with a T-shirt at the Cass, and then sometimes they're a bit iffy about it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
True.
Weird over there. But then we realised.
Maybe they're aware of the pool situation.
And then we realised, we were like, wait a minute. Upstairs at the Metropole, why are they shutting down? And then we realised, wait a minute, Crystal Palace is staying here. Crystal Palace must have rented out the fucking pool.
It took you this long to work that out.
And then we realised, there were rumours getting around the hotel that Crystal Palace was staying on floor 17. And we were like, let's go up to floor 17. Suss out the Crystal Palace boys. And we went up, and there was actually a secchi standing there and was like, what do you boys want? And
You
Cade
want to see the soccer players.
Cade legit said, like, I thought we were going to go with like, oh, sorry, we're on the wrong floor. But Cade was like, Crystal Palace here, aren't they? And the guy was like, yeah, pretty well. But you're not coming in. You're not coming in.
I'm surprised your key card could get you up to that floor.
You
Then.
don't even need key cards to get up.
That's a scoop.
You don't need key cards to
Get into the rooms.
You don't need. This is actually a big scoop. You don't need key cards to walk into Metropole or Towers. You don't need key cards to get up to any floor in Metropole or Towers, and you don't need. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You don't. I mean, you need a key card to get in the rooms, but you can go up to the pool of Metropole for free
Oh, really?
if you just walk in.
But you got to get in the door.
Yeah, but it's all open.
Okay, it's not in Perth. In
No,
Perth,
in
it's
Perth
all
you need to
shut.
scan in
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But you need a key to go everywhere at the promenade, which is the poor people one.
Not quite.
Yeah, that's probably why they got it locked down.
The lesser expensive one. You need a key to get even down. You
So
need
the
to
Crystal
get-
Palace boys weren't even at Towers. They're at Metropole.
Yeah, because I think they knew that they were going to have to kick people out of the pool, so they wanted to make sure that
Oh,
the
okay.
patrons are getting upgraded. And they knew that the metros.
I would have loved to have seen what the party was. This is a party before the game.
I think it was just like rehab in the spas.
Oh,
and
so
the
it wasn't a
sauna.
They're
party.
just chilling. Yeah.
Nah, I think it was like rehab in the spas and sauna.
What's Skepta doing up there?
Get the
then?
gym to themselves. But yeah, pretty cool.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Any other shenanigans going on at Crown?
I mean, obviously, we're playing some pranks on the boys. You know, Kobe came out of the toilet one time, out of the shower, and it was me, Eddie, and Kobe in the room. And I don't think I got this on camera, but Kobe was just walking around in his towel.
yeah.
So Kobe took the liberty of taking it off him.
Fair enough.
So Cold Dog was butt naked, and obviously Kobe and Eddie are big boys.
Yeah.
So they used brute force to kick Kobe out of the room and lock him out of the room.
Straight into the Metropole.
Into the hallway, right, of the Metropole. And then he's running around hand over cock and balls, like scared of what's going on. Everyone's going to come down the hall. And then he sees someone coming down the hall, and Kobe's like running down the hall, butt ass naked. But like,
Wait, why is he running down the hall?
Because he was like trying to
Oh,
find trying to find someone to hide, but there's no one to hide in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Like, and then and Cade said he came around the corner and just saw this man's little butt naked just running down the hall. Luckily it was Cade and he came to save the day. Classic the boys.
Classic prank. I would probably, I don't know. I think I would have like an anxiety attack if that happened to me. That would be so, just such a precious situation. Completely naked, nowhere to go. Knowing that anyone could come around any corner.
You sort of got to embrace it though.
Yeah, like, oh,
Cock out!
got kicked out of my room.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'd do. There's literally nothing you can do.
What would you do if someone come up, say it wasn't Cade that come up and it was you in Max's position? Like, what are you doing? It's a family of 4.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'd cover the cock and balls,
And then,
obviously.
I'd hope
and
so.
then back on the wall. Like,
Would you want a brown eye or would you want a like...
no, but would you be like
Would you-
covering and
Bend
then like,
over.
and then like
obviously there's
step back to the wall?
there's oozing out happening.
Obviously, because your hands
Oozing?
aren't that big.
Obviously there's like... I don't know. It's awkward.
What are you going with? Here we go. It's happening right now. Bang, you're out of
What
the
are
door.
you saying to him?
I would stand like sideways up against like because you know how they like the doors kind of go in a sec.
Yeah.
I would stand like up against it and be like, "I'm sorry, my mate's a dickheads and they've locked me out," and they'd have a laugh about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you go with, Joey?
And I get kicked out.
Yeah, I think
Joe
I
would
do
be
this.
so funny. Joe would fall into a mess. Like he would get all he would get
I don't
so
usually
weird.
do this.
He would get so like weird and shy and embarrassed.
Yeah,
Oh, you wouldn't.
Nah, I'd love it, man.
I cock out.
Yeah.
Fucking
You start urinating on the on the grass.
Yeah. I don't know
So
what
you
I'd
find a
do.
nice pot plant.
But you know, obviously when we're going out to the clubs, the boys like to dress up
Are we still going with this?
real nice, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And we all have our, we have as lads, you have your body sprays and your deodorants and
Yeah.
your
Colognes.
your colognes, yeah. But Cade brought something that no one was expecting. He brought his vapping.
What is
Are
vapping?
you familiar with vapping,
I'm
Jacob?
not, I'm
or
not.
Joe?
Is it like vaping?
No, nowhere near. Vapping is a collection of bodily fluids of a human that is created during. Yeah, I think you can see where this is going.
Are they,
It's-
it's his.
relation-
It's his
it's
vaping.
genitalia bodily fluids, essentially,
Oh,
in a
nice.
collective bottle.
He bought that. Is
Yeah.
that a home brew? Is that a home brew job?
Obviously, it's his own.
Is it actually?
People use vapping,
It's a family recipe.
and they dab it on themselves as a sort of cologne,
He bought his own.
which gives off more pheromones.
He bought his own sailors, his own semen.
Maybe.
Seriously?
Do you have to feed them?
Surely that's not passing through customs.
All right. Well, he had a little bottle that looked very much like it, and he was running with it the
That's
whole time.
disgusting.
That's what I thought, right? But one night he poured it on Big Ed as Big Ed was sleeping, and
Oh,
Big Ed
boy.
was not fucking happy. Big Ed jumped up and around and started tackling him, and Big Ed weighs 100 more kilos than young Cade, and Cade was shitting his jocks.
Yeah.
Do you know what the
Just
coolest?
added to the vapping though, I reckon.
Yeah, fucking right. And yeah, do you know what the coolest part about all these stories is, boys?
None of them are true.
No,
I've got them all on video.
I've caught them all on camera, and they're going to
Oh.
be released in my Melbourne documentary coming out.
This is
very
an audio
soon.
trailer.
This is all a big promo for the big doco coming out very, very soon.
Alright, we can't wait to see it.
Hell yeah.
Very exciting. Alright, boys, that just about brings us to the end of the MacPack podcast. But we wouldn't finish up without presenting our favourite weekly segment. It's our only weekly segment. It's out! Everyday Hero Joe. For the 4th time ever. Take it away.
I feel like I've been doing a fair bit lately.
You have?
I've been climbing the ranks. I've been finding a lot of heroic activities in my everyday life. An everyday hero, some might say.
He's gotten the gist of it after 96 eps.
Good on
So-
you.
We appreciate.
So for any observant fans of the YouTube, my YouTube stands, hey guys, how's it going? Keep watching the videos, love it, making them just for you. But you might have noticed that down here on the roadcast, which we use to make the podcast, is where the magic happens. The number one dock for the headphones has been out of action for
No one's gonna
a couple of, so yeah, if you're
Literally
keen, if
no
you're a
one.
keen,
If
Not
you're
even
keen
I
eye.
noticed. It took me like 3 weeks to notice.
if you're a keen observer, you would have noticed it was out of action, and I took it to get repaired finally. And I took it to a little place in Myra.
You did break it though, yeah? That was you.
It's definitely one of us.
No, it was either me or Riley, because
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
but we didn't notice at the time. We didn't notice until next week when we tried to plug it in. It wasn't working.
Yeah.
So I've taken it down to DV Computers. Shout out to DV Computers.
Another paid gig.
Is this a cashy?
down at
Did they pay you to fix the machine?
no. I said I would give them a shout out though because they did fix it.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did, but that was after I'd already decided. That was after
Surely you're checking that off with the boys.
Yeah.
That was after I had already decided that they were getting the hero. They had already proven their hero.
Oh, and then you went, I'll
and
give you a
then I was
shout
like, I'll
out.
give you a shout, knowing that.
They listen.
Yeah, they do listen. Yeah. No, I don't think they do. But anyway, so I took it down to get repaired.
Promise they don't.
And while I was there, the guy was like, "Oh, the technician can have a look at it, and then he can say like if he thinks he can do it or not." So I was actually waiting there for a while, just in the shop, waiting to get done. And so this is a computer repair shop, so they do a lot of hardware stuff. But I did notice that they had like quite a lot of traffic because for me personally, it's like I know getting a laptop fixed is kind of like bit of a last resort, like doesn't really happen that often.
Yep.
Kind of like a bit of a rare thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they got a lot of traffic, and I noticed that there were a lot of older clients who they seemed to know, like they knew the guys working there. They knew their names and stuff. There was even one particular old bloke there who had quite a bit of rapport with him, like gave him a seat and stuff because he had to wait a bit. And then they were just helping him with general, just sort of like, helping them with stuff like backing up the computers, like doing updates and stuff like that. And
Real fucking easy. That's real easy stuff. And how much are they getting paid for that?
I'm not sure, but like they're out there, like they're just like so
How would
nice.
he know?
I don't know.
They're like so nice, like taking the time to explain pretty like for us at least, for the younger people, pretty like basic questions and stuff. But they were like so patient, taking everyone through it. And obviously, these are older people who are using computers a bit more, and they're like coming in a lot, so they're like relying on it. But obviously, they're coming up with some issues.
Have you bought the business? Is that what's happened?
No,
You're
no,
now
no.
the owner of this DV Dental?
No, I just thought it was nice. I thought it was nice because it's like these guys are obviously like, if you work in a computer repair shop, you're pretty like on the ball about computers, but they're like taking the time to help all these like older clients, being super nice to them, especially if you're like in your like 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
Like coming into like computers and stuff, you just feel like, man, this is, I don't know what's going on.
It's
and then
chaos.
some people might not have kids, might not have grandkids who can help them with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's good that they know that there's a place where they can go, where everyone knows their name, and they can get their computer fixed.
Well done. That was subtle.
Was that actually set up?
No, I just thought of it
Oh,
then.
right,
Yeah.
right.
My thinking, and I obviously go to the most negative spectrum ever.
Yeah.
What if the team down at, what is it, DV Dental, DV computers,
installing viruses.
Yeah.
if they're all old people that are coming in, is there a chance? Is there a small likelihood that they have Alzheimer's, and that every time they get home they think their computer's broken, they come back in and they go, "Oh, Jono, how are you?" Because he remembers my name. He goes,
Yeah.
"I'm your son." Remember? And then they fix his computer. They haven't done anything. He doesn't even have a computer. He's just bringing a pizza box.
briefcase,
Just putting your CD-ROMs in there from 1990. Going, there you go, mate. Now you've got the whole alphabet you can do stuff with. Take that home. It'll be $50 this week. And that should do ya. And then, the next day comes and they pith in there. Chance?
You'd hope not.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. But if that is, you got to commend them. It's a hard time for businesses, and if you've found yourself up with a great plan like that, good on you. You should be reaping the benefits.
All right, so this week's Everyday Hero goes to
Goes
a
to
company
No, not the company.
Company for doing their freaking job.
The work is there. The work is taking the time to help their elderly clients
That they're getting paid.
and being nice about it.
Yeah, good on them.
Good on him. Nah, fair enough. Go
Fuck
go the extra mile.
Joe's back to his old roots.
Boys, that brings us to the end of another episode of the MacPack podcast.
A great ep.
Yeah, 96 of them.
96. Yeah. I finally hit the stride with this one.
Yeah.
Nearing that 100.
We've got some big stuff in the pipeline. We've got a couple of guests that we're penciling in. We do have this studio that we're working on. Can we get a tally just from someone paying along at home? How many times we've mentioned the new studio that we've inevitably never moved into?
It's happening.
It's happening. Riley's got a documentary coming out, apparently.
Yeah, and I'm still plus 1,000 followers on the Instagram. That's right. Managed to maintain it. No, not a great deal of unfollows, not that I noticed.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, thanks to my fans for the ongoing support. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, if you are enjoying the podcast, fuck, you're in the minority. Flick a message to your mates and let them know that.
Yeah,
Here we go.
2 weeks ago was a pretty killer app.
Yeah.
That's a good one for them to start with. That's it.
What was that? 94.
It's getting grim, man. It's getting grim. Tell your mates, because we might be hanging them up pretty soon. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure to sit next to the two of you this week and every other fucking week that we do this. Until we do so this time next week. Stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to
Go give your mama.
it's chuffing out, but not forever.